Hello and welcome back to the Geek Day podcast. We turn your weekday into a geek day. I am one of your hosts, Rob, and with me today I have my co-host, the lovely Mr. Alex Moon.
That's me. I'm Alex Moon.
That's you. Hey, Alex, how you doing?
I am doing good, Rob. Sorry, I was finishing posting on my socials to let everyone know that we were going live, but I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing well as well. I'm getting a weird sort of lighting situation with my hat. The build of my hat's not allowing any of the light from above me to come down. So I look kind of like a Sith Lord right now, or at least I feel like I look like a Sith Lord.
Yeah, I got to give you one of these things.
Yeah. I'll take it. I won't say no. I won't say no to one of
Yeah,
those.
no, I ordered a set of lights and it came with two of them, and I only need one. So,
I'm two. Me
yeah,
too.
there we go, and it's a good investment for me. So you're not here looking raggedy.
Yeah. I mean, I have a key light right here, right?
And why aren't you using the key light?
Because I don't have anything to put it on. It's usually what I use for the show. I have it on there and I put it onto my face. But if I don't have anything to put the key light onto, it just kind of shines from like the floor, and it makes me look like that one scene from The Sandlot where it's
You're
like
at a desk right now, right?
forever. Yeah, I am.
Just prop it on your desk.
But then it gets in the way of the camera. It's not aesthetic.
This sounds like excuses to me.
It's very much an
Robert,
excuse.
Tony Stark built this in a
Shut the
cave.
fuck. Shout out to the Super Sanctum Pod, our brothers over there in the chat right now. OMG, it's Geek Day Podcast. OMG, it's the Super Sanctum Pod. And then shout out to Schmeekt up in the chat. What's up? Haven't watched the one shot yet, so I can't tune in for too long. Schmeekt, feel free to come back in in a little while afterwards. Because
I'm sure Robert will put up a spoiler
yes
thing, so you can kind of check back in on mute or something. But then also, if you miss anything or after you watch the one shot, these go up on YouTube. Is it right after they go up on YouTube?
Yes, they do right after. Yeah,
right after.
It's an automatic
cool.
upload. Yeah.
Sweet.
But Alex,
yeah.
Before we jump into our whole spiel for the day, how has your week been? What nerdy stuff have you done this week?
Yeah, and first off, I also want to. I'm drinking Sunset Sarsaparilla from Fallout New Vegas, which is what do you call it? It's a soda, and I mention it because a lot of people know I don't drink anymore. And every now and then, if I drink something that looks semi like a beer bottle, people are like, "What are you doing? Someone call someone." But anyway, no, it's been Robert. You know what? Actually, I've been watching that I had never fully watched before.
What's up?
X-Men '97.
Oh, so good.
I had never watched it. And I finally said I'm not finished with the first season, but I'm hyped because now I know later on this year, we're getting a second season. So I've been watching through the first season. What's the episode? I'm trying. The one I just finished was we're past. What is it? Remember this one or whatever? Remember that or
remember it or
yeah, remember it. Yeah, that one. I don't want to say what happens, but
Yeah.
you know what episode that is, and
yeah.
it was incredible, absolutely incredible. I think I just passed the Storm and Forge stuff after she sees the bird thing that she's been dealing with. So I'm about there. I think I got a couple episodes left. But it's been great. It's been great. Other than that, I've been like always, I'm reading Captain America comics. I think I read Captain America comics every single day of my life. I don't think I've ever missed a day. I was watching one of those videos earlier that was like good night to everybody except these people kind of thing. And I got like 3 slides in, and one of them was except people who read a Captain America comic today. And I was like, fuck! Like, so immediately out. But Robert, what about you? What have you been up to this week? How are you making your weekday geek day this week? I know you've been busy.
I've been very, very busy. I do have, I've been kind of nerding out a bit. One, I've gotten back into my novel reading. So I finished a book again, finally. So claps, snap.
That's good. It's good.
Took me a while, but I finally got through it. And then I have been prepping because I'm having some new friends come over to the house tomorrow.
Ooh.
And I'm going to be teaching them Dungeons and Dragons. So
that is cool.
Yeah, so it's gonna be
crazy. And my invite must have gotten lost in the mail.
Different friends.
You have other friends?
I do actually. So they are friends.
What are you talking about?
I
can't. Robert, I don't know how you held on to me. I don't know how you're holding on to
Shut
anybody.
the fuck up. But yeah, they are friends of friends that are coming over. And last time I talked to them, they're like, "Oh man, we've always wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons," and I'm like, little do you know, I have a show that I legitimately DM
That's cool.
for.
Is because for those of you who may or may not know, me and Robert have I'll just say that me and Robert do a show
Yeah.
called Common Creatures, where we play Pathfinder with a cast of a bunch of people that are really great. How different is Dungeons and Dragons from Pathfinder? I know when we were doing it, you were kind of saying they're not too different, but like,
Mhm.
you know, is it a difficult, like, you know, where you're used to playing Pathfinder all the time? Is it a difficult pivot?
Oh, it's not. It's definitely not a difficult pivot, but mostly because the people that make Pathfinder originally worked on Dungeons and Dragons up to like edition 3.5. But
Hmm.
also shout out to Vince saying, Rob, are you Dustin from Stranger Things?" No, I'm not. But I do love Dungeons and Dragons. But yeah, so it's not. I can hear myself on your end, by the way. I don't know if you're
You
making
can
any
hear
sound.
you on my end.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, is it causing an echo?
It was a little bit of an echo, but I don't know if it's just
Oh,
me
let me
talking or
see.
not. But yeah, it's not too different. It's the same thing. You roll a d20. Most of the stuff happens. Truly, Dungeon Pathfinder to me is just better because there's more custom stuff that you can do,
Hmm.
like with character creation and stuff like that. As well as the only difference really is that in Dungeons and Dragons you get an action, a movement, and then like a bonus action. Versus in Pathfinder, you just get 3 actions to do whatever you want. So it's a little bit more like moving around and
So
stuff in
really, the
Pathfinder.
combat is where it's different.
Truly, that's really the only difference.
Okay.
So I'm
Okay.
going back in, and then also we're playing 2024 rules. Sorry for the people that don't give a shit about tabletop RPG stuff, but we're playing with 2024 rules, which is funny because 10 years after the fifth edition of Dungeons and Dragons came out, they're like, let's make very minor changes and recharge everyone for brand new books. And
Oof.
so we're playing with those rules that edition, just because that's the only version that I can find online that's easily to be shared. So I'm
Yeah,
had
and
to
it's
like
not
look up
like
some new stuff.
having to buy $200 books to go back through
Exactly.
everything. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah. So I've been doing a lot of research, getting myself back into the mindset of Dungeons and Dragons for this week. Stop talking about what you want to on your podcast, Raw. Truly, yeah. Sorry.
I love that.
But yeah, so that's how I've been making my weekday a geek day after my stressful days at work.
Perfect. Well, Rob, I would like now before you leave, Schmeekt, I will say I would like to start this off non-spoiler, and just kind of give your thoughts. You know, give me your 2 sentence review for the Punisher. And sorry, I didn't even say it. We're gonna be talking about the Punisher One Last Kill. We're not gonna get into spoilers just yet. But Robert, I do want to get like your two sentence initial review. Then we'll get into some spoilers, talking about what happened, maybe some of the more nitty gritty. I know, me and you have some big opinions on
Yes, very much
the
so.
Punisher. Um, so I'm fangirling right now. Thank you, Super Sanctum Pod. Let me know how soon I should drop everything. I'm going to watch it. Also, guys, if you're listening to this later on, we do it live on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch, right?
And Twitch. Mhm.
Yes, perfect. But Rob, 2 sentence review, non spoilers for Punisher, One Last Kill, the Disney Plus special that just aired this week.
My 2 sentence review for The Punisher One Last Kill will be, why was this made? And I'm trying to think, who casted this? Those are the
Oh,
two things
whoa!
that I can think about. Like
That is wild.
my spoiler free one shot review is those specific two things.
And
Um,
then out of 10.
out of 10, if we're doing out of 10, a 3 out of 10.
Oh, shit.
Genuinely,
Robert hated it.
I genuinely, and people are gonna go, like, oh, this is Rage Bait Rob. Rage Bait Rob's
Oh,
back here again.
God.
No, I genuinely I got kind of angry watching it. We had a conversation yesterday while we were recording for the other pod, and you told me kind of briefly what you thought about it.
Uh huh.
And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go in with very low expectations. Even with those low expectations, I was
Oh,
very
no.
upset.
I set you up to lower your expectations and you still got disappointed.
Yes, very much so. I was
Oh,
like,
no.
but we'll get into my reasons why. But Alex, what is your 2 sentence review for Punisher One Last Kill?
Thank you. And before I say, I would like to read some of the chat right now that I see on TikTok. Rob, I don't know if you have any on anywhere else. If you do, just chime in. But
Mhm.
I see Super Sanctum Pod said, love the one shot, but why did we get the first episode of Punisher Born Again? We will talk a little bit about that, where it feels like this is definitely a big setup. Now we got to wait till July for more Punishers. True. Super Sanctum Pod said, preach, Rob. Schmeek said, oh God, I did hear something bad from a friend that doesn't like superheroes, but I tried to disregard it. But this is bad news. Look, I don't want to deter you from watching it. You should check it out. But let me I see Ragman here as well. What's up, Ragman? Have you checked out the year mint condition new Omni? I have not. I've not. But so my 2 sentence Punisher the last kill or one last kill review whatever would be sentence 1, some of the best Punisher stuff that we've ever gotten. But also some of the worst, like, writing and direction that we have gotten for this character. Overall, I'm not just talking about for Jon Bernthal. I mean across all Punisher stuff. And we'll get into the nitty gritty. Solar Punk in the chat, Ayo, and then Ragman. Please vote for Ragman. Complete omnibus. Oh, I lost Rob.
Okay, I'm back. Oh God, I was like, what happened?
Josh Brolin was just like right now. He was like
Just
reading the
Thanos
newspaper,
now.
and he went, "Oh shit!"
He heard
anyway.
what I said about Punisher, and he was like, I don't think we need to hear his opinions anymore.
Jon Bernthal grabbed the Infinity Gauntlet and went, "Let me tell you something, Rob." But so we are going to start talking spoilers for Punisher One Last Kill. Robert, can you put something up on screen or something? Or
right here.
Boop. We got a lot of
Punisher.
Got a lot of gutter space. Can you make it bigger in the gutter space?
Unfortunately, I cannot. I've tried.
Okay, well that'll do, I guess.
Yeah, that'll do.
You know? But anyway, Robert, would it be all right with you if I started?
Go ahead. Did you give your 1 out of 10? I mean, your 10 out of 10?
Oh no! My out of 10 for the Punisher One Last Kill. Honestly, this is my biggest comparison for this is like Amazing Spider-Man 2. There's some great moments. Overall, not great. I would give this like a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10 for me. I didn't absolutely hate it, but the parts that I did hate, I hated so much. Yeah. But honestly, it's just like really, if I'm just taking this as like a story thing, I'm probably closer to you. I'm probably like a 2 out of 10. But Jon Bernthal's performance for me does like give it a whole 2 points by itself. So
I did want to say before we jump into the spoilers,
tell me.
I truly think that this show, you cannot spoil it. I think there's so little plot in this show, this one shot.
Yeah, Schmeeks, I'll tell you straight up, bro, because I know Schmeeks is one of the guys that are like, you know, I think Robert's absolutely right. It's hard to spoil it, but like, this isn't like a Daredevil Born Again where at the very end, old characters that we might know show up, and that's a spoiler. It's not like we get a major thing. I'll be honest. If you have seen, and this is kind of me going into my thing, if you've seen any old Punisher stuff, you know the story. We've seen this story, and that's probably my biggest criticism with this whole thing is we've seen this shit before. We have not gotten anything new. We have not gotten anything new story-wise, and I said this in my video I put out about it, where in season 2 of Daredevil, Punisher is going after the people that the gangs that he think killed his family. He thinks he's killed them all. Then he finds out there's more people involved in the death of his family. So then the conspiracy goes deeper, and he goes and he kills all those people. Then he finds out there's more people involved, and the conspiracy goes deeper. And then he goes out and he kills more people. One of them gets away because the conspiracy goes deeper. And then he goes off and he finally kills the last guy involved at the end of season 2 of his show. And this show is about Frank Castle finding out that more people are involved in the death of his family. It's a bigger conspiracy, and he takes him out, and it's him dealing with and this is just the setup of the show. Then this is him dealing with the repercussions of him taking out those people. At this point, I'm surprised that Uncle Ben hasn't been wrapped in some way involved with the Punisher's family's death, because that is how ridiculous we've gotten at this point. But yeah, man, we've seen the story before. We've seen it. You know, we do get some great Jon Bernthal acting his ass off with these great scenes. I really want to get your opinion about here in a moment, Rob. We have some great Punisher stuff. The best, I feel like, visceral action that we've ever gotten with the Punisher I think John Bernthal's performance is great. The action we get is the most Punisher reaction we've ever gotten, especially in Netflix. Netflix, I feel like, was always afraid. Like, while there was some gruesome moments, they were afraid to let John Bernthal like have anything that wasn't like a handgun. Like, here he goes, he lets loose, he does so much stuff. We get some great Punisher stuff, some amazing Punisher visuals, and then the writing and the villain that we get is just not great at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Rob, I want to know from you kind of some of your thoughts about this.
I think, and I'm looking through my notes. I told you before we started the show. I was like, I wrote
Yes, Robert
notes.
took
Like,
notes.
that's how like upset I was kind of watching the show. That I was like, I need to write down some of this stuff because I will forget. I'm very much like a tangent talker, so I'll just whatever comes to my mind, I'll bring it up. So I was like, I need to be
Mhm.
focused for this one. This whole show felt like the execs at Marvel just saw The Raid for the first time, and they were like, we can do that. We have a guy that goes pew pew. Let's have him pew pew for 35 minutes of screen time. And I kid you not, there was like little to no dialogue in this. That's what I'm saying. Like, there is no way for you to spoil this show because, hey, Punisher kills people. Like, spoiler alert. And it's not even
Yeah.
like it's
I think the biggest spoiler is Ma Nucci exists.
yes.
And that's really it. Ma Nucci is in this show. She exists. I can't even tell you what she does because there's nothing to spoil. Like,
she magically teleports from one side of a limousine to the other. I'll tell you that. That's one thing she does. So she has magic powers. I laughed a lot about that. But like watching this, I was like, it doesn't feel like how do I explain? It doesn't feel like the MCU. This like the way that this show was because like the big sort of setup for this is Manucci comes out and says, "I ordered everybody to come by and like I put a hit out on you." Survive basically, or like I'm trying to kill you. So the rest of the show was just him trying to survive all these kills, and it just felt like the purge because like out of nowhere like over 100 people just show up to this one apartment building in New York that also looks like a video game engine. It looks like Skyrim, like it looks like the background the entire time. And it's just them running upstairs. And don't get me wrong, the action in this is phenomenal. The choreography for this is great. The kills are brutal. It's what I was expecting from a Punisher sort of thing. But when there's no substance to it, when it's like this whole show felt like the middle episode in like a season of Punisher. Like this would be the repercussions for what has happened. But there's like really, it's like, hey, remember those shows that we did like 5+ years ago that you haven't touched? We're gonna finally bring that back, and here are his repercussions for this. And I just don't know. Like even like the very end, when like the homeless person, or so the unhoused person, the Marine veteran is like he took something else from me, and then like I don't know. Like I was just like I don't know. Like this MCU that they built, or at least this one section of the MCU that they built, just seems so vengeful, and it doesn't fit for me, at least in the grander MCU as a whole.
To me, I think overall, I think the best way to put it is it feels like it does a disservice to the Punisher because there's so many people like with violent video games, with violent movies, with violent comic books. There's so many people that will stand up and go like, well, this is bad for people because it's just about the violence. There's no substance here. This makes that argument correct because that's exactly what's going on here. Like, we get a very paper thin thing. I am someone who I played the old Punisher video games. I loved the older Punisher comics from the 90s and the early 2000s. I love seeing him go up against Barracuda, Bushwhacker, all this stuff. I love the Punisher. I think he has a lot of great stories to tell. I think, and the Punisher is a character that's almost like Michael Myers. He's almost like very one note, and it's all the characters around him that make him interesting. It's like their reactions to, oh, this guy's hunting me down, right? And this show, we get some great John Bernthal stuff dealing with PTSD, right? We get some amazing moments where John Bernthal is acting his ass off. Like the Academy was sitting behind the camera or something is what he thought was happening because he was doing some amazing shit. He even gave us a new version of no, wait. And and it's fantastic. but it's all stuff that his version of this character has done before.
Mhm.
We've seen it. We have 2 seasons of Netflix Punisher specifically that does that. We have a season of Daredevil season 2 where he does that. Like, we have 3 complete seasons of the Punisher show where this is his story. And I think Schmeekt was in there earlier talking about how Marvel feels like that's the only thing there is to say with this character. That's the only story he can tell. And that's just not. It's not the case. There's so many great stories with Frank Castle and these characters, and honestly, write stories about other characters, and Frank Castle intervenes. Like, that's all you need to do to make a great Punisher show. And I think that's what really annoys me about it, is it feels like we know that they can deliver on the Punisher action, but they don't know how to get the Punisher there. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Mhm.
Like this, if this special has shown us anything, it's that they know what to do when they get there. They don't know the directions to get there, you know?
Mhm.
And there's a big thing, and I honestly think that there's some character assassination going on with the Punisher in this show for 2 specific scenes. I'm gonna go over that in a second, but I do want to read some of the chat right here.
Mhm.
Um just know he's killing the same people. Oh, haven't seen it yet. Do I need to watch before Spider-Man? Like, does it set up anything?
No.
No. If you're wondering, yeah, no, this doesn't set up any. I would argue this doesn't set up shit at all. Like, maybe when he gets his own show, but this is not prerequisite for Brand New Day. You don't need to watch this. I think if anything, all it shows is by the end of it that the Punisher is active in New York. But we already knew that. He was already doing Punisher shit in New York. We didn't need to
Very much
reestablish that.
what Super Sanctum Pod is saying, that Spider-Man is very no kill, and while Punisher is kill, unless Punisher gets Spider-Man to kill. That's really all you need to know. Is that, like, hey, Punisher kill, like that. That's about it.
That's true. Yeah, like and Solar Punk, for you, the one kind of asking right there, like, you know comics, you know these guys, you know what they're doing. This is more for like, that's more like set up for people who have no idea who the Punisher is.
Mhm.
Um but I was gonna say my 2 big things, and I'm gonna tell you guys, there's one point that I'm gonna make that might get a little sensitive. I'm gonna use my best sensitive words as I possibly can. But there's a scene towards the end. There's 2 scenes. The first one, I'm gonna skip. I'm gonna go to the second one. There's a part of this show where the Punisher is going after Ma Nucci, and there's a family getting their shit rocked in the background. And we've already seen Frank Castle in this show walking by crime, people getting hurt, and he is not intervening. And it's that whole thing of like, oh, I've killed the people that have killed my family. Do I need to get involved in this? Yes, because you've done that 4 fucking times. Like, you
Mhm.
know you should already get involved. You know you can do Punisher stuff. It took him way too long to turn around and get involved in that. That dad was already almost dead. That woman was almost about to be murdered, and the Punisher took way too long. And I get it. It's this decision of, do I go after Manucci who's escaping, or do I go save this family? We've already seen that with the Punisher. We've seen it with Daredevil. It's such like a nothing thing, especially for this character who's already done it. He's
You
already
already
gone
know,
it.
yeah. You already know the choice that's gonna be made. Why are we
Yeah, and
making
it's
this
like,
a 3-minute, like, shot to shot sort of?
yeah, man. And it just felt like, is this padding? What is this? And then the worst one, and it's the part where it gets a little sensitive. The worst one is the one, and I don't know if you caught this, Rob, but I saw this immediately and I was like, is that what's happening right now? Is that what's happening right now? In the first part where we get this kickoff of this scene where all these people are rushing Frank Castle's apartment complex.
Mhm.
The people across from him in the hall, he sees them through the peephole, where bad guys enter the home that he knows is a mother and a son by themselves. They enter, we hear the boy crying for his mom, we hear the woman crying, begging people not to hurt her and her son. And Frank Castle's not reacting. And I get it. He's having this PTSD moment, and it takes too fucking long. It doesn't come across as like, oh, he's battling his inner demons to know that he's got to go. It came across like, does he not give a shit about what's happening? Is this something that is, he feels that is like a bother to him almost, you know what I mean? And the big thing is, there is a part where, in that scene where the mother's in the building, one of the bad guys has her over a table, and it implies that she is getting assaulted in some way. Her skirt is hiked up. His midsection is where it is, and it's implying that something is happening. the Punisher didn't get involved, and that woman was getting assaulted in that way. And to me, I get it. The whoever made this was like, "Oh, look, that's real life. That's crazy. That's the Punisher." At the end of the day, regardless of if he's an anti-hero or whatever, he's a superhero to some extent.
Yeah.
And I was like, "That's fucking disgusting." Not that it happened. We could have gotten like, "Oh, they're trying to get to her," and Punisher stopped them. But he waited too long. He didn't get
Mhm.
involved long enough, and that shit was happening. And to me, that came off as like, why are we assassinating the Punisher like that? There's
Yeah.
one thing that the Punisher hates in this world: people who harm kids, and especially people who do that type of thing. That's like, that's Punisher's big no-no, right? And we're seeing that happen, and Frank Castle's letting it happen to an extent until he gets involved. But I don't know. Rob, what was your other list? Your other stuff on your list?
Yeah, I was literally like, you were talking in the beginning, and then we got into like the more serious stuff. But I was like kind of giggling because I'm reading some of the stuff that I wrote down.
No, tell me.
Um, so I said, "Why the fuck is it lit like Black Hawk Down?" Because
Very,
it's so yellow. It has that
yeah,
like that 2000s military movie coloring.
like over edgy kind of yellow.
Yes.
Yeah, I hear you.
I wrote, "Where's everyone getting crowbars and fire axes?"
That's true.
Because it's like
Everyone walked around like they just robbed a Home Depot. Like,
there were so many shotguns and AKs and like ARs, and then out of nowhere, it was like, "Hey, you're out of ammo. Well, that's a good thing because the next guy is coming with a crowbar." And it's like, "Okay, cool." Like,
yeah,
uh,
it's also New York. How's everybody walking around with Uzis and shit?
yeah,
Like, I get, and the show establishes these aren't all like hired killers. Some of these are like regular thugs, regular people that are just trying to cash
yes.
in on the bounty. But go ahead, Rob.
I said I want to see the script for this because was it like 4 pages of dialogue and then on the last page it says "Punisher punishes?" question mark. Uh, then it said, I said, was the entire green screen made from a game engine from the early 2000s?
So you're
Um,
talking about that scene where he falls, right?
no, not just that. Like it looks like there's I don't know how it was shot or if it was like on the LED stage, like they've been doing a lot of the Star Wars stuff.
Yes, they do a lot
Some
with
of
Mandalorian. They did it with the Batman.
Yes, some
Yes.
of the background looks like super scuffed to me. Where
Yeah.
like I was like, okay, I can't tell if this is like a sound stage somewhere or if this is like the LED wall. I
It's
could
like the
not
depth
tell.
perception is kind of weird in some
Yeah.
spots. Yeah. 100%.
And then what was the last one? Oh, is it did they cast all of the extras off of Craigslist? Because oh my god, I'm sorry. It
Mhm.
was some of the acting from these extras was just so painfully bad. I was being punished
Oh
watching some of the
god.
stuff because I was
Mhm.
like what is happening here? Did they just pick people off of the side of the street or were they John Bernthal's friends? I don't know why this made me so angry. Because I mean, of course, like we have the character assassination of what you're saying, but it
Mhm.
just felt like this thing felt so haphazard that they were like, well, we gotta make a Punisher thing. He's gonna be in Spider-Man, so we gotta like
Yeah.
find some way, blah blah blah. It just felt so lazy, and it felt so indicative of the way that I've felt that the MCU has been going. And of course, they've been doing a lot of good. I mean, Fantastic Four was really good. Born Again is really good. A lot of these newer stuff is getting really, really good. But it felt like, hey, we got 30 days to get a script. We got 30 days to cast, and we got 30 days to do all this sort of stuff.
I'm
Let's
gonna
get it
look
done.
up how long this shooting schedule was because it definitely feels like, and part of it does. And I'm not trying to be, that movie snob or whatever, but it feels like a bu- it the way that it's shot, the way that a lot of it looks reminds me of the Thomas Jane Dirty Laundry Punisher thing. I'm not sure if you've ever seen that.
No.
You should check it out. It's so good, especially if you've ever seen the 2004 Punisher film.
Mhm.
But like, it feels very like a bunch of student directors got together and filmed this in a week. Like it's there. It feels like, and that's again a testament to also what you're saying with like the side characters, the actors they had in here. I guess all the budget went to John Bernthal in that one GTA 5 cutscene when
Yeah.
he fell. Um,
And
how
honestly, that
long?
was like not the only time that I saw the face replacement that they were talking about. There was one where he was walking down a hallway with like a gun up, and I was like, "Did they replace his face there?" And they did. Like I stopped it, and you could just see the smudging of the face, and I'm like, "You had to." had to have a double there? Was John not there for a one take of him walking down the hallway with a weapon? I
It
don't
would
know.
make sense if he wasn't there. He was filming another thing up the road. Um,
What was he filming?
Spider-Man.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess.
I mean,
Yeah,
I would imagine they were probably filmed pretty close.
yeah,
But also he doesn't have a beard in Spider. Anyway,
yeah,
so it says approximately 3 weeks
yeah.
was
It
how
felt like
long
it.
they shot this in. Yeah, no, it feels like that's how long they shot it and edited it.
Yeah.
Like,
I was like, all right,
um,
put it on the cooler, and it's ready to go on May. Like that's how it
yeah,
felt.
yeah. I don't know. I think I love Shmeek Punisher punishes. That's like one of my favorite Robert quotes. Punisher punishes. Um, nah, dude. I think overall, it felt. I I think what because I get it. Sometimes we're not always going to get exactly what we want in our shows, right? We're not going to get exactly. Maybe we're not the target audience. Maybe we're not exact because there are a lot of people who have Oakley sunglasses who I'm seeing love this, and that's great. Like if you like it and you got your flag patch on your jacket, that's fine. I'm so happy for you that you liked this. That's concerning because I don't like this because I don't think this is a good representation of the Punisher and who he is as a character. Um, I also think it's something to be said that this is the first thing that John Bernthal had more of a hand in with the writing and stuff. And I was
Mhm.
like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't let him do that. Um, but I think overall, what makes this so disappointing is we know that everyone behind this was very passionate about this. John Bernthal, the directors, the crew, people have been talking about how they worked on this thing. There's clearly a lot of passion, but it goes back to one of those things where you executed on an idea that should have been fixed in the writer's room, and that's really what bugs me. And I think that's why, because this is stuck with me, how disappointing this was. Um and the last thing I'll say is I was the gall that these bitches had to, because it's the trope that every MCU character in their shows gets their costume in the last episode. The Punisher got his costume in the last 30 seconds of the show. I
Mhm.
don't think there is a full minute of this suit on screen. I think if you took every moment that this suit is on screen, it's probably like 50 seconds.
This that just reminded me of the last shot, or like one of the last parts of the show
Tell
was
me.
the dude from the very beginning, just walking up to this lovely pair of course, there was a lot of violence towards minorities in this show, which was
Yeah.
very wild to me. But this one white dude walking up with a baseball bat to two people that are having a conversation, and then Punisher stops them, and I'm like what is this hyper violent MCU? What is going on in
Yeah.
this world of the Punisher that I don't know.
And
It
also,
just
like, why was that during daylight?
yes.
That's like a thing where those people should have been like cutting through an alley because some bad guys were walking down this way, and they're like, let's cut through the alley, and there's another bad guy in there, and the Punisher comes out of the shadows. Like, why was this in broad daylight, and why was it being treated like, wow, the hero murdering someone in cold blood on the pavement?
Yeah.
It just felt like glorifying it in the wrong way. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, it didn't come off as cool. It came off as like, what universe are we in? You know what
Yes.
I
It
mean?
was very
And
purgy. Very purgy.
yeah, and I also don't know where the fuck this is in the timeline,
Yeah.
because is this right after Daredevil Born Again? Because if it's after Daredevil Born Again, where the fuck was the Punisher during season 2 of Daredevil Born Again? And then if it's during Daredevil Born Again, and that's why he's not in Daredevil Born Again, where's the anti-vigilante task force when Frank Castle is casually walking down the street murdering everybody?
It took the police a long time for them to get there. Like I was like 30 minutes and then finally the police show up and I'm like, okay. Okay. In Fisk's New York. Okay. All
In
right.
Fisk, New
In Fisk's New York.
York.
Okay, when there was an entire thing
God.
about Bullseye pretending to be Frank Castle in that episode, and they showed up in like 2 minutes. Okay, well, like I don't know. We can keep talking shit about this for the entire show. But
Yeah.
Alex, any final thoughts about the Punisher One Last Kill?
If this is going to lead to a full new Punisher series, I'm here for it because I do want more Punisher, but I'm hoping that people talking about it, because most people have been very vocal. There's a lot of people that just unashamedly like this and they're okay with it. That is perfect. There is an online majority, I feel like, that is saying a lot of stuff about the writing and some of the shit that's been happening within this special that I'm hoping they clean it up. And if I've learned anything, it's that maybe John Bernthal shouldn't be writing. But overall, I want more Punisher. But while this gave me great Punisher action, I want the next thing the Punisher's in to have great Punisher action and a great Punisher story. And you can't have one without the other, I feel like, because then it just feels empty. But Rob, what about you? What are your final thoughts?
I think I'm on the complete opposite wavelength of you, which I feel like that's been happening to us a lot lately. Is that we talk about what our opinions, and you're on like usually on the more positive spectrum, and I'm like, I could not. I feel like after this, I'm like, I'm okay with Punisher being just like a side character. Let him emphasize like that, make him be like the what is it called, the foil to Daredevil. Make him be the foil to Spider Man. Show them like he's still doing good, right? Like he's still
Hmm.
like going out there and punishing people, but he's doing it
The
in a
Punisher
complete
punishes.
punishing punishes. But he's doing it in a completely different way than our noble heroes are, and show that like make that be another like moral sort of story or whatever. I'm okay with that. I just cannot see myself being entertained by another Punisher story unless they do something like the Red Band one that they just came out with, where it's like him going against Kingpin, which they're not going to do. But I don't know. They're not going to waste Vincent D'Onofrio on like a death
Sure.
by that. I
Can
just
I ask something real quick?
yeah, of course.
Have you watched the Daredevil or the Punisher Netflix show?
No, I have not.
Robert, genuinely watch it
Okay.
because character wise, it is so good, and I think it would help give you a perspective on how good Punisher stuff can be.
Hmm.
Because if we had that show's writing in the first season and most of the second season, if we had that show's writing and this show's action, be perfect. It'd be perfect. But we had no writer here. It was
Yeah.
just John Bernthal and a bottle of Percocet. So
Let's go on. Like I said, we can talk crap about this for as long as we wanted to, but let's go ahead and jump into our second topic of the day, which is something you showed me right before the show started. And
yes,
Ahsoka season 2 will be releasing
yes.
in 2027. Now, Alex,
Hmm.
you know how I feel about current Star Wars, but I am wearing a Star Wars shirt right now. I'll start it off by saying that I really enjoyed Ahsoka. I really, really loved Ahsoka when it came out because it was one, Ahsoka. I love her as a character overall. She's one of my favorite Jedi in Star Wars, as well as seeing her grow from Clone Wars all the way until now has been a really nice treat. And then seeing how different of a Star Wars story that was being told, um, I'm very excited for season 2, especially with how season 1 ends, and of course we can talk about that as well. But how do you feel about Ahsoka season 2 releasing next year?
I'm hype. I'm hype. I think as much as some people are over the Star Wars stuff, I'm not. I'm always down to give new Star Wars stuff a chance because as much as people will bag on Star Wars, I think they have a great batting average. I think we have much more good Star Wars stuff than we do bad. And Star Wars has this insane ability to where a new generation will come in and make the old stuff everybody said was bad, and they have a different appreciation for it. We've seen it with the prequels. We've almost seen a little bit of a turn on the originals. Like some people will say the prequels are better. And Robert left again.
I'm here.
I
Sorry.
I wish him well. Oh, okay. But so it's just one of those things where we Star Wars is just such a different beast. But with that, all that being said, I'm always down for more Star Wars stuff. But Ahsoka in particular. I loved her in her first introduction, live action anyway. Obviously, Clone Wars, fantastic. When she shows up in Rebels, immaculate. And then we got her in Mandalorian season 2, I think is when she first showed up, right? Was it season 2 of Mandalorian?
Season 2, yes. Mhm.
And then obviously she got her own show. I think she killed it. Everyone killed it in that show. I thought it was so good. It was one of those Star Wars things that uh, you know, similar to, I guess, Andor, where I feel like it really stood on its own, even though it did have some moments where we get flashbacks to some of Hayden Christensen stuff, which was fantastic. I'm excited to see where they're going to go with it. I'm excited to get more of that version of Ahsoka. I think Rosario Dawson's amazing as Ahsoka. I am interested to see what they're going to do about Ray Stevenson's character.
Hmm.
If they're going to write him out or recast him. Because if y'all don't know Ray Stevenson, which is really kind of poetic, we're talking about him now because he also played the Punisher in Punisher Warzone.
I know that.
Some people argue that that is the most comic accurate Punisher too. But he played. I unfortunately I don't remember his character's name. I'm so sorry. But I loved it. You know, I'm saying I loved it as I don't remember his name. I'm sorry, I'm a hypocrite. But I thought it was just a different type of character, especially someone who has that, you know, that complicated relationship with the Force and the Jedi and the Sith and this kind of thing, being someone who's kind of in the middle. But I'm excited. I'm hyped for it. Robert, what were your thoughts when you saw that?
I really liked it a lot. I love being able to see. I'm not someone that watched all of. Oh God, what was the other one? Rebels, Star Wars Rebels. I watched a
Yes.
bit of it, and I really liked Ezra as a character. You know, Kanan and all that sort of stuff. So being able to see those characters again was very cool. You know, and then seeing them in live action. So I mean, we
Hmm.
have a Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She's Hera. And then we have Ezra, and then we get, oh my god, what is her
So
name?
good.
The Mandalorian character. Oh my
Oh,
god,
Sabine.
Sabine. Yes, seeing her, I was like, oh, that's really really cool. Like seeing all of them brought into real life was very cool. I felt like they were exactly like their character. Ezra looked a little bit like Jesus, and that's fine. Just a very attractive Jesus. I was like,
Okay.
why?
I think what you mean to say is that Jesus looks like Ezra. Because if we're
Yes, yeah,
taking the lore, this is a galaxy far, far
far
away,
away.
years and years ago, thousands of years ago. So before Jesus, so you know, getting canceled
um,
right now.
I know, but no, I loved it, and I loved it. Was there were like different kind of interpretations of the characters, but they still felt within the realm of them. I loved like the faraway travels and like I don't know. I'm really excited, especially with how it ended. Which I guess I don't really think it's a spoiler because it's been like what 3 or 4 years since
No,
that show
just go.
came out. But like they Ezra and Sabine were able to escape onto the larger ship, and then Ahsoka got sent to a different galaxy.
Hmm.
So that's what I'm excited about because I've felt that within Star Wars, we've been stuck within the same time period and same sector of the galaxy for so long that being able to have kind of a fish out of water experience for a character that we love,
Hmm.
one, and then two, finding a different way to extend the lore of Star Wars. And I truly think that they did this for Dave Filoni to really be like, now this is your Star Wars universe. You get to do whatever you want now that he's in
Yeah.
charge of it. So
I'm hoping that you're right and they're gonna do something different because you're absolutely right. And like not only have we been kind of stuck in the same time period and the same kind of you know, similar stories, but we've also been stuck in like I mean, there at this point are rules to you know to Star Wars that I think we need to break a little bit to expand it more. Like how many sand planets with people wearing cloaks can there be? How
mhm.
many forest planets or jungle planets with Ewoks or Wookiee looking guys walking around can there be? How many marsh planets with little green slimy guys can there be? Every planet is derivative of that same thing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Give us different biomes, dude. Give us weird shit. Like do that Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow thing where we have a really weird planet layout with fucking dinosaurs on it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like
Yeah.
change it up.
And I'm really excited to see what do Jedi look like? Well, how are they going to be received outside of the main Star Wars galaxy? You know, like are people going to be amazed by it? Is there going to be a whole different version of Jedi? Are there going to? It's there's just so much to really think about, and that's I'm super excited about. Any way, and I'm going to go on a little rage bait Robert here to get away from little baby Yoda. I am so happy to just like find a different way to get into Star Wars. You know what I'm saying?
I hear exactly what you're saying. And one, his name is Grogu, you fucking troglodyte.
I know
Second,
his name. I know
um,
his name. I'm throwing disrespect on it because I'm tired
how
of
dare
it.
you? How even further dare you? No, but No, I absolutely agree with you. I think anything to kind of shake it up. And honestly, I would even like it if it was the opposite way. What you were saying about like Howard Jedi. It would be almost cooler if she gets to a different universe and she's like, stand back using the force, and everybody's like, we can all fucking do that. What are you talking about? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Make
Mhm.
Jedi not special so we can find how Ahsoka is special outside of just her identity as a Jet, or well, not a Jedi, as something in between or her own thing within the force and stuff, but expand that universe, expand that lore, do even more. It is crazy to me that I feel that the most lore expansion we've gotten in Star Wars has come from like fucking the Jedi games. Like the other ones have been like, "Hey, you want to go to a sand planet? Let's go." Like the trailer for the newest Mandalorian and Grogu movie that's coming out this year, they're on a goddamn sand planet shooting people that are chasing them. They're in a goddamn like city planet that's like a casino looking thing, and then they're talking to goddamn huts again. Like, how many times are we gonna see the same stuff? You know? And don't get me wrong, it's cool, but Star Wars shouldn't just be member berries. Because for
Mhm.
a diverse galaxy of infinite possibilities, we're sure getting some finite possibilities. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really good for it to get off of the nostalgia train and
Yeah.
really get weird. Like that's
Yeah.
what I love about Star Wars. The best part of it is when like they're like, "Okay, we're going to fall into a different universe and now you get to meet the father of the Force and the son of the Force." Well,
Yeah, do that weird shit,
yeah.
dude.
So I'm very excited to go towards all that sort of stuff. But Alex, any final thoughts about Ahsoka season 2 before we jump into our last topic?
No, I'm hyped to see it. I'm hyped to see the Rebels crew back. If you haven't watched Rebels, Rob, watch Rebels. It is so good. Me and Mrs. Moon have been on a hunt for the Kanan Jarrus pop
Mm.
for years. We can't find it. It's a more rare pop. I think they only did like two different versions of him. So we've been keeping an eye out, and because it's so good. The characters are so good. The things that happen. Oh, if they ever bring Freddie Prinze Jr. in to be Kanan in live action, and if it happens in Ahsoka season 2, I'm gonna fucking Grogu all over my pants.
Yeah, my final thoughts. I'm very excited for it to happen. I love Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka. And let's go ahead and jump into our third topic of the day, which is going to be the announcement of them starting to try and cast James Bond. Uh,
Yes.
Alex, what is your relationship to the James Bond 007 franchise?
Well, after high school, our flame really kind of, flamed out, I would say.
I got you.
Um,
Yeah.
he's not really the power bottom I was looking for. No, we saw Amazon is actively looking for a new James Bond. They're officially casting for a new James Bond. And I am someone who I adjacently have liked James Bond for years. I do like a good number of the Daniel Craig movies. I'm not going to say I've seen them all. Skyfall is fantastic. The No Time to Die is also another great one. But I think that the thing about James Bond is his character is so like, hey, he's got to talk cool, walk cool, shoot people, and bang every woman in a 30-mile radius. And that's all he has to do. And everyone can get behind that. That's that it's beautiful. It brings borders, it breaks down borders, and it brings people together. So I've seen a good amount of James Bond films. I really enjoy them. I'm not gonna say I'm the biggest James Bond like guy. I haven't seen all like the Pierce Brosnan movies or the oh no, I've seen one or two of the Sean Connery ones. But anyway, I like James Bond enough. But Robert, what about you?
Same thing. Like, of course, like I feel like James Bond is very much the British Indiana Jones, or I guess maybe Indiana Jones is the American James Bond,
Yeah.
where it is like just this titular character that everyone knows.
Mhm.
And of course, yeah, I've seen some of the newer Daniel Craig ones. I'm really excited for this because I feel like with the Daniel Craig ones, they were trying to do this more not gritty turn, but more like human turn for James Bond. With, of course, like you said, like he's got to be cool, he's got to do this cool, he's got to seduce the women and stuff. I feel like they kind of try to do the more modern turn with him.
They
I
definitely
think,
did what Christopher Nolan was doing, where they weren't trying to make it realistic, they were trying to make it grounded. They weren't trying
yes,
to make this like in the real world. They were trying to make it, hey, technically, we could do this somehow, you know?
Yeah. I feel like this next go is very much where they're gonna do it a little bit more towards Ethan Hunt in Mission Impossible esque, where
Okay.
you know he has a little bit more personality than besides just being hot and banging and stuff. I really think that the my specific thing I'm excited for James Bond is at the end of this month, the James Bond 007 video game is coming out,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna be buying that and playing that to try and get
There's
my
some
fill of James
controversy
Bond.
about that. Have you seen it?
No, what happened now?
The I love that. What happened now? No, people are saying because it's a $70 game
Mhm.
and it's come out. It's a single player experience. The run time of the game is 20 hours,
Mm.
and people have been complaining about that. I have a certain opinion on that. I don't know what you think.
I don't give a shit. Like that's like it's not that I don't care. I think. Well, I think this is adult me talking.
Oh, I think I'm right with you here. Yeah,
When
yeah.
I
Go
was
ahead.
younger, give me a 110-hour video game. I will
Hmm.
spend so much time. Give me Skyrim. Give me Starfield.
Hmm.
Give me whatever. Now, as I'm older, I get it, man. Give me 10, 15, 20 hours of like a good story that has good replayability, which they have talked about. They said that they're I watched the whole thing of them talking about what's going to be in the game that you can go back and play the missions differently because it's
Hmm.
made by the Hitman people, guys. Like there's
Yeah.
gonna be replayability. So
But honestly, even if there wasn't, even if it was an on rails pretty good story, I think 20 hours is good, a
that's
good
fine.
value. Like take like you and your girlfriend to the movies for 2 hours with popcorn and a drink, and you
It's
spent eighty
$70. Yeah.
dollars. Yeah, like $70 for a 20-hour experience of something that's gonna be tight and fun and looks really good. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
I wanted to point out Shmeek's comment here. He said but the 1995 007 game is goated 100%.
Yeah.
GoldenEye fucking rocks. My brother wants to pre-order the game for $500 to get a golden gun with it. I don't know if I would do that.
That's crazy.
Uh,
That's crazy. Well,
that's wild. Yeah,
if
like,
you got the disposable income to do that in this economy, do it, brother.
hey, tell him to buy it for $70 and then go on Etsy, and I promise you, somebody has it there for like 120.
But yeah, so I mean, I'm very excited about that game. That's gonna be kind of like my holdover until whenever a new James Bond thing comes
Mhm.
out. But we started talking before this, and we're like, who would we cast as our James Bond? And we kind of were hinting to each other where we're like, okay, it's not the stereotypical kind of person.
I
I
feel like
have,
mine was really out there, and then you were like, "Mine is also kind of out there," and I was
yeah,
like,
I have
"Okay."
two. I have two. I have a
You have
more
to.
like I have a more like not conservative, but more like one that that would probably happen, or one that could possibly happen because of their skin color. Truthfully, and then one that is my one that I would really love. So you wanted to do a 3, 2, 1 and
Yes.
say our
Well,
names,
before
right?
that, I did
So
ask Mrs. Moon who she would cast, and I want to throw that out
yes.
there.
Uh-huh.
Her like immediate response when I was like, "Hey," because I was asking, I was like, "Me and Robert talked about this. We're gonna cast James Bond. Who would you cast as James Bond? Help me like think of like who are some people that come to mind?" And her first answer was, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, and if I'm not, I'm sorry. Uh, Yahya Abdul Mateen II. So Wonder Man, our
Yeah.
latest Wonder Man. I that was her casting, and I think that would be fantastic. I think
Mhm.
he's got the swagger of a young black teen. No, I think he's one of those guys that, and we saw it towards the end of Wonder Man, that kind of suaveness that he can do that. He can pull that off. I can totally see it. But Rob, so we're gonna do 3, 2, 1 on our picks. Is this gonna be like your second, like your conservative pick, or this is like the one you would like love to have?
This is the one that I would love to have. And then
Okay.
I would go on to like my more conservative pick that I think
Okay.
could do a good job if like if he got the role.
Okay. Here, I'll count us down. I'm gonna do 3, 2, 1, and then we'll say it. You ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Rahul
Camille
Kohli.
Nanjiani. What?
Whoa! Wow.
What was yours? I didn't hear it.
Rahul Kohli.
Oh,
Yeah.
Raul.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I can see Raul. Holy
Yeah. Yeah.
shit.
We both went
My
kind of like yeah, we kind of like went out of it a little bit more.
Yeah, we both went with handsome brown gentlemen.
Yeah. Yeah. We can say that.
So, some caramel kings, but dude, Raul. Oh, guys, here, if y'all don't know who Raul is, I'm gonna I don't know if Robert can pull it
Uh,
up. I know we're on a different thing.
yeah, I can try and pull it up right here. But Rahul Kohli originally was known for his on iZombie, and then did very well with oh my god, Midnight Mass as
Midnight
the
Mass, and then he
sheriff.
was also in was it Bly Manor? The other
Yes,
one?
The Haunting of Bly
Yes.
Manor.
So
There he is. Look at that handsome man
there he
right there.
is. Look at him. He's
Most
beautiful.
recently, the main character of Saros, the video game, and then
Oh,
also
beautiful.
he's now the voice and I believe the face also of the sorcerer in Diablo 4. So he's been getting a lot of love lately. He's British, and
Hmm.
man, if you've never seen this guy act, oh my god, he's fantastic. He can make you
Dude, Raoul.
cry.
Oh,
He is so funny in real life. My first touchstone to Rahul Kohli was Funhouse, because he used to be
yes, me
friends with
too.
them. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then seeing him like grow over these years has been so great.
Robert's best was Raoul. Sorry, I was telling my wife she was passing by, and I was like, Roberts was Raoul.
But yeah, I think that he would be great as like kind of a smarmy but also heartfelt sort of guy, because you can see those kind of mixtures of characters that he's played before in the
Hmm.
past. But tell Kumail Nanjiani, I would have never thought of Kumail Nanjiani.
Dude, and here, let me give everyone a point of reference. Oh, let me give you a great point of reference. That way y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. Camille,
So shredded.
right there. Yeah, he's been shredded since the Eternals.
Hmm.
And I think he's one of those guys, and you see it a bit in Eternals. He's one of those guys that he can do that serious stuff. He can play more,
Did you ever watch The Big Sick, the movie that he wrote?
no, I did not. Is it good?
Watch it. It is amazing.
Really?
It is.
The big
It's like an autobiographical movie about him coming up in the comedy scene and getting to
mm.
know his wife.
Oh, that's
And it's
cute.
fantastic.
The
It was
Big
written for him.
Sick?
Yeah, The Big Sick.
Where's it?
Uh,
Was it streaming somewhere specific?
Amazon.
Amazon. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
It is a great movie. It's very sad, very funny. But he wrote it. Him and his wife produced it together.
Oh, that's
Uh,
beautiful.
and like they casted the person that plays his wife together as well. So she was on the set all the time. So it is a very great
Does he
movie.
play himself?
He plays himself. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I think he's a great actor. I think he's got more range than we give him credit for. And there's another big thing with James Bond that, is also really important. He's got to be kind of hot. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? And by kind of, I mean very hot. I think Camille Nanjiani. I mean, he's a beautiful caramel king. So he was one that came to my mind when she was kind of Mrs. Moon was throwing around hers, and I was like, dang, that would be cool. That and I don't want another, kind because
Copy
I'm
and
just gonna
paste
say,
white man. Yeah.
yeah, Pierce Brosnan, Sean Connery, Daniel Craig, they all do great at their job. But James Bond is such a multicultural, multifaceted individual. I would love for us to get, some more in there with him. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I don't think it always just has to be a white bread white guy. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with white bread white guys. I love The Office. But just like The Office, sometimes we have to have some amazing people of color showing us their chops, and I think both those guys that we mapped out would be really good. I know Idris Elba has been thrown around a lot,
Hmm.
and I also think he would be a great choice if they ended up going that route. But it's Amazon doing it, so I'm kind of like I also thought of who, and I think yours is also in the wheelhouse of who Amazon would do because they're probably not going to pay Idris Elba's salary to
Yeah.
be, yeah, if they're doing a show or if they're doing something Amazon related, they'll pay a Camille Nanjiani, they'll pay a Raul Coley. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like they'll do that. But Robert, who is your other one? You said you had more of a conservative pick as well that you feel like is a little more likely.
I think, especially with his past films that he's done, also being within the spy sort of network, Taron Egerton, who I think
Oh,
he's an amazing actor. He's
Okay.
an amazing singer. He's an amazing dancer. Like he is just amazing overall. I think. I believe if you give him the chance to kind of break the eggsy shell that he had in Kingsman: The Secret
Literally, I was
Service,
about to say, I feel like I would have a little bit of a struggle not seeing him as
yeah,
Eggsy because he's gonna be wearing a suit.
yeah,
You know
a
what I mean?
suit.
Like, yeah.
But I think he would be a really good James Bond if given the chance to. Um,
Really?
if you've never seen any of his interviews or any of his other work that's not Kingsman, I mean, he's great as Elton John, Eddie the
Yeah.
Eagle.
He's
He's
great as that gorilla guy.
oh yes, from seeing. I was like, what are you talking about?
That's one of my daughter's favorite movies.
It's an amazing movie. Your
Yeah.
daughter's got great taste.
Yeah. She
Um,
loves Sky Full of Stars. But she has never heard the Coldplay version. Um
so that was my conservative pick. Alex, did you have a conservative pick, or were you just
No,
rooting
because
for
I believe
Kumail?
in the people I believe in.
Okay,
No, I'm
okay.
kidding. No, I'm kidding. I just did no, I don't have one. Mine is, would be Camille Nanjiani. I think that would be really cool to see. But honestly, you brought up Raul. I think that's such a good one.
He's
I think
amazing,
that's
man.
such a good one. I'm jealous that I didn't think of that one, honestly.
That's why I thought we were on the same wavelength there. I was like,
I
imagine we
mean, we
both
were
saying
on a
Hulk Hogan.
similar wavelength,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
you definitely picked someone a little more sexy than my sexy guy, but whatever. It's whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
You know,
Alex, this has
can't
been
win them
fun.
all. This has been fun. We should do this every week.
We should for until Kumail Nanjiani and or Rahul Kohli get casted for James Bond.
Yeah, they both get casted as James
Yes.
Bond. This new James Bond is a Mark Spector Moon Knight thing going on,
I was
and
thinking
when
more of like maybe like a Freaky Friday sort of situation where there's like twins or whatever.
no, I want there to be a meta racial conversation that happens about which personality gets which actor and how that actually is extremely prejudicial to who they are as an individual. So that's kind of my pitch for
So we'll
James
do this
Bond.
until we get canceled. But thank you all for being here, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Later.
Oh god! Oh god! It won't switch. It won't switch. All right, bye. Y'all.